guys, it's Ariana. Welcome back to my channel. So for tonight's video, we're going to be reading some more scary stories. Welcome to spooky season. I know it's like day 6 of October and I haven't posted a video yet, and I do apologize for that. I have been so freaking busy this year. I got married 2 weeks ago and I just haven't been able to stop since then. I planned my entire wedding myself with my fiance, now my husband, and we didn't have a wedding planner or anything, so it was up to me to plan everything, and I just didn't have time to do YouTube plus plan my wedding. So my wedding is now done and my honeymoon isn't until December, so now I can come back on here and film some more videos for you guys. And I really did want to come back on here sooner, I just haven't had the chance. So now that I do, we're gonna be reading some more creepy stories. I have a bunch of no sleep stories. I have a bunch of let's not meet stories that I'm gonna read tonight. I went through my Reddit and I spent like 2 hours going through all of my DMs with all of my authors of the ones that have allowed me to read their stories, and I created a giant list so I can work through it. Some of them I literally DM'd in like 2023 and I still haven't read their videos. I still haven't read their stories. So we are going to work through the list. I'm gonna start with the let's not meet again stories just because they're really creepy and I feel like it's a good start back into making creepy stories. So I'm going to light a candle. I don't have a Halloween candle right now. I just have a fresh watermelon candle, but it literally smells like the lip smackers from when I was a kid, and that's what I'm here for. It smells so good. It reminds me of the watermelon chapstick or watermelon lip gloss or just watermelon scented anything from when I was a kid, and I am here for it. So we have the candle lit and we are ready to get spooky. I also have my wicked candle back out because it is a spooky season and it's making the whole office smell like, I think it's like caramel apple, salted caramel apple. It smells so good, and it is my wicked candle. I used to say that at the beginning of every one of my videos, and then for some reason I just stopped. So we're gonna bring that back. I have my wicked candle in here making the whole room smell like a caramel apple, and I'm excited to jump into these spooky stories. So with all that rambling out of the way, if you would like to see my wedding photos, I have a bunch of sneak peeks up already on my Instagram, so go follow me on Instagram if you're interested in that type of content. Other than that, let's jump into these spooky stories. So the first story that I'm gonna read is again from the no sleep section. Oh my God, I keep saying that. It's from the let's not meet section, and it's from the Reddit author Defiant-Weekend6153, and it's titled, Someone Knows My Boyfriend's Work Schedule and It Isn't Me. What the fuck? Let's jump into it. So I'm 23 and I live with my boyfriend. He works nights, so I'm home alone for almost 12 hours at a time. I'm used to it. Netflix, snacks, our cat's company. But lately, something's been happening that's making me seriously think, how safe am I actually? About 2 months ago, I started noticing weird little things when I'd wake up. A window in the living room cracked open a few inches when I was 99% sure I closed it, because again, I have cats. So I don't want them getting out. The back gate latched differently, stuff that could just be me being forgetful, but one night around 1:30, I heard a noise on our porch. Our apartment is small, and we share a building and a walkway, so at first I figured it was our neighbor. But when I peeked out the peephole, there was just a shadow leaning against our door. I froze. No knocking, no footsteps, just breathing. After about a minute, it moved away. And the next morning, there was a folded piece of paper stuck under our doormat with just my name written on it. No message, no signature. My boyfriend thought it was a prank, but he also noticed scratches on the lock that hadn't been there before. We put up a cheap camera by the door, and 2 nights later, around 3 in the morning, the camera caught something trying the doorknob. Hood up, head down, and they stood there for a full 30 seconds, then walk off when a car drives by. I filed a police report and I gave them the footage, but all they could tell me was to keep my doors locked and call 911 if it happens again. We bought better locks and a door brace. It's now been a couple of weeks of quiet, but every creak at night makes my heart race. I hate how whoever it is clearly knows my boyfriend's schedule and the fact that I'm home alone. I don't post anything about being home on social media anymore, and I don't know if someone is just randomly in the area has been watching me, but this is the first time in my life I'm genuinely afraid to go to sleep. That's really fucking creepy. I hate that for you so much. I don't know what I would do in that situation because like literally being afraid to go to sleep at night or being uncomfortable in your own house is so awful. Like I can't even imagine how that feels. That's just awful. No, thank you so much. Thank you so much for letting me read your story, and I hope whatever is stalking you guys stops, because that's just fucking creepy. The next story that I'm going to read is from the Reddit author La Odella, and it's titled Bald Guy, Let's Not Meet Again, Please. A few years ago, I was a university student renting a house with 3 friends on a quiet street in what's considered one of the safer, more privileged cities in the UK. I've never heard of anything strange happening in this area. To help pay for tuition and rent, which is expensive, I worked late evenings as an ASDA, which closed at midnight. A shift usually ended around 12:30 or 1 in the morning, so I'd often cycle home at weird hours. But nothing ever happened. My housemates, who I met through university, were a year ahead of me, graduated and already busy with work. By the time I got home, they're usually asleep, but the house was quiet when I got back. One winter night, after a long shift, I was cycling home in the freezing cold. I was exhausted and moving slowly, which probably made me pretty quiet on the road. As I turned onto the street where my house was, we lived at the far end, I noticed someone standing directly in our front door. It wasn't one of my housemates. This guy was bald, and none of the people I live with were. He was just standing there. Just still, facing the door, not knocking, not moving, not talking. Just staring straight ahead. Our door did not have anything, no glass, no peephole, nothing. I slowed down and instinctively turned around before he could notice me. Something about it felt really off, so I circled a few nearby streets, trying to think of what to do. I was too scared to go back, so I started calling my housemates, but no one answered. I texted a few friends too, hoping someone might still be awake, but nothing. I could see my breath in the cold and my fingers were freezing around the handle of the bike. I kept cycling in better lit areas where there were still the occasional cars driving by. Being near movements felt safer, and eventually I calmed down a bit, but I was drained. I'd worked 12 hours, it was nearly 3 in the morning, and my phone battery was low, and I just wanted to go home. So I cycled back and I turned into the street again. He was still there, same position, just staring at our front door. I turned around and went back to the main road. By now, it was even quieter. That's when I had a full-blown panic attack. I don't know what to do anymore, and for some reason, don't ask me why, I didn't call the police. I really don't know why. I think I just froze. Eventually, one of our friends I'd messaged earlier replied. They were still up, and I asked if I could come to their house. Thankfully, they said yes. It took a while to get there, but I eventually made it by 4 in the morning. I was beyond tired, but safe. I guess he eventually left, as the morning after, none of my housemates noticed anything. So, to the bald guy staring at my door in the middle of the night, yeah, let's not meet again. That's really weird. I would have definitely called the police because your housemates weren't safe. That is kind of a lapse of judgment there. I definitely would have alerted the authorities that there was somebody standing at my door because it's 3 in the morning and you kind of just left your housemates to deal with it. Thankfully, nothing happened to them, but that still probably wasn't the best choice. I'm glad you're safe and you went somewhere safe, but your housemates definitely weren't. The next story that I'm going to read is from the Let's Not Meet section again, and it's from the Reddit author bored_and_hungry1, and it's titled Stranger at My House. All right, so we have a theme. When I graduated college, I was about 24. I really wanted to get out of my own and try living alone. Luckily for me, my grandma had asked me to move into an assisted living center about a year prior. I had asked my parents if I could live there. They talked it over with my grandmother, and she agreed it would be nice to have someone there after a year of her sitting empty. This was a kind of up-and-coming area, but still had its rough spots. I was so excited until I got there to do a walk around to see how I was going to set up my things. The house was a shotgun-style home with a cellar that can only be accessed from the outside. While I was walking through the house, I swear I was hearing noises. Finally, realized they were coming from the basement. So I called the police and they came out and escorted 6 people from the cellar. They were squatters that had been living there. After they left, I went down there to find all kinds of stuff. The cops took all the drugs and anything else illegal, and it looked like someone had spray painted the walls all over. It was just concrete cellar where the water heater and HVAC was, so I wouldn't have really cared, except it seemed kind of satanic. I don't know anything about this stuff, but there was a couple pentagrams and a chalk circle on the floor. Cops didn't really have anything to say about it. They didn't know either, so I poured some water on the floor to wash away the circle. But the walls, I just kind of left as is. Fast forward a few months of me living there. I had forgotten all about it and had started dating my future wife, and she was over. We were getting ready for bed and in the bathroom brushing our teeth. A knock came from the back door and I ignored it, but it came again. It was 1 a.m. and this was my back door. Someone had to have come into my backyard by opening the fence gate, and I grabbed the gun and went to the door, keeping it out of view. Some guy was standing on my porch. I opened the interior wooden door, but kept the outside storm door shut and locked. I asked what he was there for since it was so late, and he just asked if Christina was there. I told him he had the wrong house, and all he said was, "Oh, so do you want me to leave?" I told him he better leave and not come back, and he just stood there staring at me. I was getting very nervous at this point and shut the door. He walked down the steps and just stood in my backyard staring at the house. Then he tried to open the cellar doors. I now had them padlocked, so he gave up. I opened the back window and I told him to get out of here before the cops show up, or he gets shot, or both. Again, he just stared, but then he finally left. I didn't sleep that night. Again, a couple of months later, my girlfriend told me that the guy was back, just standing in my backyard, staring at the house. This time, it was in broad daylight. I called the cops this time, and he tried the cellar doors again, but left before they showed up. The next day, I went down to the cellar to see if maybe there had been something left behind that he was trying to get, but I didn't find anything. It was just a damp, disgusting cellar with a dirt floor. I have zero idea why he wanted in there. I highly doubt the satanic stuff had anything to do with it. It just made it a lot creepier. I unfortunately had to move out of there sometime later, so I could no longer afford it. And I never saw the guy again, thank the Lord. And that's the entire story. That's really creepy. That's a lot of people just showing up at people's houses that really they shouldn't be there, and there's no reason they should be there, and just like, don't go to people's houses at 3 a.m. or 1 a.m. Like, it's creepy. Like, leave people fucking alone. I don't understand. Why do people feel the need to harass people in the middle of the fucking night? That's just creepy. I hate that so much. So this is where I'm gonna end the video. I know this is a shorter video than I usually like to do on my channel, but this is just the first video that I'm doing to get back in the swing of things. I'm gonna try to post as often as absolutely possible in October, but I did just wanna come on here and do some creepy Let's Not Meet stories. These are the only Let's Not Meet stories I have at the moment. So that being said, Let's Not Meet stories are some of my favorite stories to read on the channel because they're always written so well and it's always from the person telling the story's point of view. I'm not really into the like fictional stories where it's like they're talking and then other people are talking and I have to like explain who's talking. I don't really love that. I just kind of like first person kind of stories. So that's why I like Let's Not Meet stories so much. So if any of you guys have any creepy stories, any Let's Not Meet stories, or any stories you would like me to share on the channel, please feel free to message me either over Instagram or over my email. All of my information is listed down below in my description box. It's also in a pinned comment at the very top. So please help me get my channel rolling a little bit faster and a little bit better again, because YouTube doesn't like to promote my videos anymore. So with that being said, please like this video, please share it around, please watch all of my old videos. If you haven't seen my recent videos in the last like month or so, please go give them a watch. Help boost my videos back onto the algorithm because I have 13,000 subscribers and I only have like 600 views on my last video. So if you guys could help boost those videos, I would appreciate it so much. If you made it to the end of the video, please leave me your favorite Halloween emoji because we are now in October. It's spooky season. So leave me a Halloween emoji in the comments down below. It lets me know that you guys made it to the end of the video, and I will see you guys at the next video. Bye.